It's your money. You have the right to be leveled with about the surplus for fiscal 2018 that ended June 30. But there were forces that wanted to keep you in the dark. Any hint of a large surplus made those forces crazy, as their defamatory signs hysterically screamed all over Clinton in May. Here's what they don't want you to know. Clinton's projected surplus is not available yet on any single document. But here it's put together for you, starting with year-to-date through June revenue, town expenses, educational expenses, including capital expenses, to estimate the net surplus or deficit for 2018. So let's start with tax revenues year-to-date through June 30, the end of 2018, which amounted to $45 million. And this is where we'll start. Total revenues are $53.5 million. The difference is the amount of non-tax sources, including state aid and municipal fees charged. Together, they total $8.4 million. Town expenses through June are derived from total expenses year-to-date, minus the educational expenses included in this report, which include capital expenses, plus encumbered funds, for a total town expense of $16.8 million. The Board of Education year-end expense ledger reports $31.4 million in expenses plus encumbrances of $60,000 for a total of $31.5 million in operating expenses. Add to that $293,000 in capital expenses, and principal of $870,000 plus interest of $1 million on education debt, for a total of $1.9 million, which together produces education expenses of $33.8 million. That plus town expenditures of $16.8 million produces $50.6 million in total expenses subtracted from the $53.5 million in revenue, leaves a surplus of $2.9 million. 36% or $1 million of that surplus was due to under-budgeted state aid. 23% or $683,000 from over-budgeted town expenses. 23% or $270,000 from over-budgeted education expenses. 10% $283,000 from under-budgeted other revenue, and 8% or $242,000 from under-budgeted tax revenues, for a total surplus of $2.9 million. So while the signs alerting voters to a $1 million surplus for being accused of lying, in fact, the estimated surplus was not in the least bit exaggerated. It was, if anything, a very restrained projection of otherwise carefully kept secret that someone did not want voters to know or to believe. The truth about Clinton's fiscal 2018 surplus is unmasked. Those who want you kept in the dark can no longer deny Clinton's embarrassment of riches. It is time to put a muzzle on already high taxes, indefensible tax increases, and gluttonous and rapacious surpluses from Clinton. Referendum should not be taxpayers' only or last line of defense. Elected officials must adopt more practical, prudent, and professional budgeting and taxing practices. This presentation, researched, written, narrated, and produced by Kurt Carr. Copies of all documents used to produce this presentation are available to the public at kurtster.com. Thank you for watching.